Welcome to Pike Creek Farm. Today we are going to make kosher dill pickles using Mrs. Wages. And it will be fun and easy and so good. And all we need are cucumbers, this pouch, 5% vinegar, and water. And now we're going to wash our cucumbers. I have washed them once and soaked them in ice cold water. And now I'm just giving them another extra scrub to make sure the dirt's all off and the blossoms. And just to make sure they're nice and squeaky clean. And I find I have a brush I use and that helps me. Now we're going to get the brine going. And all we have to do is put this in 3 1/3 cups of distilled vinegar and 7 1/3 cups of water in this container. You don't want to use an aluminum container. You want stainless steel or enamel in this pouch, and just heat it up until it's a boil over medium heat and stir until everything's dissolved. So easy peasy. Dump this in. It's very yellow. Turmeric. I got my 5% acidity vinegar. You can use cider or distilled. So there's 2 cups. Now we need 1 1/3 cup. This time of year, I stock up on vinegar. I get some almost every week, and that way I have it. So, and now we need the water, 7 1/3 cups. Two. 4. 6, almost dropped it. 7 1/3. So I'm going to put this on the stove. At this point, you want to get your jars ready and your canner ready. I'm going to use a steam canner. I just find it easier. It's you're sliding. This isn't staying good. Sorry. So at this point, you need to get your canner ready, either a water bath or a steam canner. I'm going to use a steam canner. I have it on the back burner of my stove. I'm going to put it on low. The correct amount of water is in it for my brand. Follow the directions for yours. If you're doing water bath, then get your water bath canner full of water and your rack ready to put the jars in, and get that heating up too. So now it's the jars. I'm going to use quart. You can use quart or you can use pint. So I'm going to get them washed up and then put hot water in them, and I'll dump out the hot water as I go to fill them and pack them with the cucumbers. So I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that. Now to get the cucumbers ready, you need to cut off the blossom end. I just cut a little bit off each end. And some of these I might have to slice in half even, but just a little bit off each end. So I'm going to keep cutting the ends off, and in just a few minutes we'll be ready to pack and put the brine and the extra crisp, the extra crunch granules. You can use pickle crisp. This is the Mrs. Wages version. Okay, here we have a jar. So now we get to play Jenga, or Tetris, I guess, and try and fit in the cucumbers. some little teeny ones. Maybe I can stick a teeny one in there. Oh, there, we got that in there. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna put the brine in. Get all the air bubbles out. Need a little bit more brine. There we go. Now we add a 1/4 teaspoon of the extra crunch or pickle crisp. If you're doing pints, it's 1/8. Now let's wipe this rim. And get my lid out of the hot water. This is my mom's tool, the magnet, when you had to always heat up the lids. And then they switched them to where you don't, but 4 jars does recommend. Put this on finger tight. And it's gonna go onto my steam canner. Right there. So now we fill the next jar. Starting to not fit right, so I'm going to start doing halves and spears if I need them. There we go. The pickles are out. And as you can see, they do float some, but they will settle. It's just the air in them. It's perfectly normal. And I let them sit on the shelf for a couple of weeks at least before we open them up. They say you don't have to with Mrs. Wages. I got one kind of pickle now done for the year. 6 quarts of those are enough with everything else that we pickle. I don't need to have massive amounts of each kind. I've done it in the past and then I don't have to do it for a few years then, but I'm just trying to get a variety on there right now. So thank you for watching and coming along as I have my pickle day and I'm making pickles. And I hope you enjoy this and that it inspires you to make pickles easily using Mrs. Wages. Thank you everyone for watching. I truly appreciate all of you and we'll see you next time at Pike Creek Farm.